Hey yo, ADR, this is King Black coming at you once again from the Chateau. I titled this video, my advice as a Latin King or a gang member isn't going to apply to all, obviously. I mean, the purpose of this channel wasn't to appeal to every single person out there, whether you're a neutron or whether you belong to an organization, Blood, Crip, GD, whatever you want to call yourself, or whatever organization you are a part of. I get that my living clean lifestyle of being a Latin King isn't going to appeal to everybody. A lot of people that watch my videos probably got a record, probably have misdemeanors, felonies. I got you. It's hard to find a legitimate job. I got you. Where you live at, whether it be ATL, Chicago, LA, I know some of the, places that you guys live at is dangerous, and you ain't always got a choice as to what you want to do, especially if you're not in a leadership position. I got it. Everybody's got to do what they got to do to survive. At the end of the day, you got to put food on your table. You got to make sure your rent is paid. If you're paying rent and not getting Section 8, you're the one that's got to make sure that your family's all right, your kids are all right, your spouse is all right, whoever you choose to be with is all right. So I get when I preach this, you don't got to be on the block to be a member of an organization that's not a one-size-fits-all. Because you can be like me, not involved in illegal activities, because I don't know about you, but I like my Second Amendment right. I like to know that, I'm legally carrying. What I buy is legal. It's mine. It's under my name. You know what I'm saying? But I get that some of y'all out there got to do some unsavory things just to survive. All I'm trying to get at with the way that I approach my lifestyle, with the way that I live it, like I already said before, I'm trying to reach old age so I can look back and say, yo, I've been 4 or 5 decades, the same organization, never seen the inside of a cell, you know what I'm saying? Never been on the back of a cop car, you know what I'm saying? So when I put my videos out there, I know it comes off preachy, it comes off like, is this shit legit? You know what I'm saying? Not everybody out there joins an organization with an intent to commit criminal acts. You know what I'm saying? Especially not somebody like me. I was raised by a single mother. You know what I'm saying? So some of the things that happen around me, I think to myself, there's that little voice in the inside that either tells me do it or don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Another advantage I have is I don't really stick around where there's nothing for me there. So if I'm hanging out with people and something I'm not comfortable with starts to go down, I just get up and leave. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't got to be there, I ain't got to be there. Because that's how a lot of y'all get caught up, guilty by association, or you see too much, you hear too much. People get paranoid. Somewhere down the line, somebody snitches, and since you weren't part of the room, they're going to assume it's you. So that's why I say you got to be careful with who you associate with, even within your own organization, because not everybody's looking out for your best interests. And even if you ain't the type, I don't condone snitching, but even if, you ain't the type to say nothing, people's paranoia can get pretty crazy. People forget, who's paying attention, who's around. So maybe it wasn't you, it was somebody else, but, they don't always see you around, so they're going to think it was you. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, so the things that I say is to try and keep some of y'all from repeating the same mistakes if you committed them. And if you haven't made mistakes yet, is to try to keep you from making them. And I also understand, besides where you live at, another thing that comes into play is who your leadership is. You know what I'm saying? So you might have leadership that's okay with you not partaking in certain things because, you're trying to live right, but at the same time, attend your meetings or, keep a certain level of activity, right? but stay on the up and up. Because at the end of the day, I know not every Latin King is a Boy Scout, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not innocent. You know what I'm saying? It's not a reputation that we have. It's not one that I'm going to try to impose. Because you have people trying to, press into territories all the time. You got people trying you all the time. But, it depends on what type of leadership that you have. If you have poor leadership, they're not going to care what happens to you, and they're going to tell you to go do this. And since you made the conscious decision to join that organization, right, now you're faced with a choice. If I do this, something, nothing might happen. If I do this, I could get caught up in some shit. But if I don't do this, what can happen to me? What are the repercussions? And each organization, I'm not going to get into mine, has their repercussions. So you have to be very conscious before you join an organization, a gang, or whatever it is, whatever label you want to put on your organization, because you got people in there that truly just don't care anymore. They made mistakes, so they got nothing left to lose. So it's nothing for them to tell you, yo, go do something. Right? And they leverage their reputation, their proclivity to violence, to intimidate you to do something that you're not comfortable with. How many of those first 48 episodes, gangland episodes, they talk about how they got just mixed up in the wrong situations. So a lot of these older OGs that you see in interviews and all these ex-convicts and ex-felons that go on to create these community programs, right? Even as far back as like Tookie, the original founder of the Crips, or one of the original founder of the Crips, right? Where after a while in prison, he tried to turn his life around. He tried to talk to the kids, but by then it's too late. All they see is who you used to be, the monster you used to be, and they look up to that. Because while he was free, while he was doing him, it gave him the image of success, People want that. Who wouldn't want money? Who wouldn't want, what he had, at least, while he was on top, before he got caught up. But that's why I say all it takes is that one time you get arrested, it's over. Look what happened to him. He spent so much time in prison that eventually a new generation crops up who doesn't even care who Tookie is. They might know his name, but they don't know what he looks like. They don't understand what he was trying to do towards the end of his life. They don't care. Same thing with this, Nipsey Hussle, right? When he passed, a lot of the younger generation ain't going to pay attention to what he was trying to do towards the end, have a legitimate business, even though he was still involved, right? They don't see. The people like Snoop Dogg is very rare. Snoop Dogg being a Crip, right? He's still out there. Nobody disputes that he isn't a Crip, you know what I'm saying? He still represents. He still does his thing. He still, at times associates with certain people, but he's also quick to say, he doesn't associate with certain elements because he knows that, they're just going to try and drag him down. You know what I'm saying? They're going to try and pull him away from his success, away from his freedom, away from his kids. And I'm not even at their ages when they figured this stuff out. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said you can be a member of an organization, live the philosophy, but don't have to partake in the stereotypes. And a lot of times it's easier said than done because, like I said, it depends on who you surround yourself with. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity and violence, you're expected to behave with negativity and violence. If you don't, red flags come up. They start wondering, how come you're not doing this? How come you're not doing that? And then when somebody gets caught up in something, and then LE comes around, guess who the first pair of eyes is they're going to look at? They're not going to look at everybody else who's doing dirt. They're going to look at you because you're the one living clean, but they're like, he's always hanging out. he's seen XYZ. This is where your reputation has to precede you, you know what I'm saying? And this is why you don't see nothing, you don't hear nothing, you don't say nothing. And you just get up even before there is something going down. Because you know what? You ain't got to be there. You're better off being at home in your bed, sleep, you know what I'm saying? You're cool to go to the meetings, you're cool to do XYZ, but when it comes to certain things that people want to do, just let them do you, you know what I'm saying? Let them be. That's how they want to represent that organization. Yo. Now, the one thing you always got to be ready for as a member of a gang, organization, whatever it is you're part of, you always got to be ready to defend yourself. Because just because you're living right doesn't mean that your enemies of your organization is going to care. Doesn't mean that anybody who is looking to make a name for themselves is going to care. All they know is you belong to this, and that's good enough for them. And sometimes it ain't even about that. Ask some of the people who, you know, survived being at the wrong place at the wrong time just because they live there, you know. They're not even a part of whatever organization lives there, but just because of the fact that they live on that block, somebody who's an enemy of that block sees them, and it's a wrap. So that's why I'm a big advocate of caring, always being ready, because you can't be naive either. When you pick this life, when you join an organization, to me, you join for life, you know what I'm saying? For better or for worse. But at the same time, I'm not going to let my organization put me in a position where I'm living for worse. Because when I first joined, it was with the philosophy of what it was created to be, what it was meant to be, standing up for the Latino community, the Hispanic community, and the community in general. You know what I'm saying? Not to go out there and be the wildest outlaw in that state. You know, which is a reputation all these organizations are trying to live by now. You know what I'm saying? Who got the most bodies? Who can move the most whatever? I'm not, you know, I ain't focused on that. Personally. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, everybody has their own rhyme and reason. I'm just saying the key to success to living long in this lifestyle, always being ready, not living the stereotype, and just staying away from negative influences. You know, you can take my words or not, because I'm going to still be around 10, 15 years later. But a lot of you that are listening to my words today, if you choose to ignore them, choose to laugh, choose to make fun of it, you're the ones that are going to be, you know, in the cell, in the hospital, in a coma, 6 feet under. For what? You know what I'm saying? Go to prison 10, 15 years, yeah, people are going to respect you for that first year or two, but as people go in and out, your name slowly loses meaning, man. And a new generation takes over, and they don't even know who you are. And if you ever come back out on the streets, you ain't got no more respect anymore, because the people you knew, they also got locked up. They also passed away. So you got to live right, so you're always going to be there, so you can be that guiding rod to the younger generation. To say, yo, we're moving in this path. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to create success, not failure, not continuing the cycle that's been perpetuated throughout the, you know, the beginning of the very first gang, you know what I'm saying? So, by all means, you know, take what you want from this. But all I'm saying is, my advice isn't going to apply to everybody. You know, my skin color don't mean nothing. My organization don't mean nothing. Whatever I choose to do don't mean nothing. What should matter is my words. Because like I said, I'm still out here. I'm still free. You know what I'm saying? This isn't coming from some lie from inside Rikers Island. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not naive and I'm not dumb. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm on here in this media, I'm trying to have more people see the light. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all take it to heart. A lot of you don't. And like I said, that's okay. Because I'm going to still be here. My words ain't going nowhere. ADR, this is King Black.